Welcome back, everyone, to another fully operational video cast. We are in the grand finals of the UK Nationals here. On the left, playing as light side, working his way up through the lower bracket, is John Paul Golightly, playing as Jedi. And on the right, we have Callum Gillespie, as looks like Imperial with Sith. And joining us on these casts, we've got a very special guest. We've got none other than Tom Melucci, current 2015 reigning world champion. Hi, Tom.
What's going on, Andy?
Not bad. So, let's have a look at these decks then, Tom. We've got a... So this is pre-Imperial Entanglements, so there's no new Navy shenanigans going on the board, but it looks like Callum's running the Dark Trooper project there.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Executor and Fall of the Jedi, so triggering Fall to see if he can get a better hand.
Depanagri.
Turn 1 Vader. Now, so this was before Imperial Entanglements. We saw a lot of Sith starting Navy, but that was mostly for Thrawn.
For Thrawn, yeah. I'm not sure why he's got the Dark Trooper project in there.
Well, as I say, Callum he's here through the winners bracket, so he's not lost a match yet. So it's doing some work for him.
He knows something.
No turn 1 resource though, so it's going to slow him down.
For sure, he's going to have a slower turn next turn.
And looks like John has flipped. He's running Mono Jedi. Looks like it. He's got Heroes and Legends for Kyle, Core Luke for a bit more resource, and a load of edge cards there under Heroes Beginning.
And he has a lot of mains in his hand, so
yeah,
that Heroes and Legends might do work for him.
Turn 1 at Owen. Gets choked. Vader React is pretty much the only way of dealing with Owen, I think, at this point, isn't it? Can't think of much else.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to prevent that train from starting, that's what you need to do. He does have an unfinished business in his hand, so I'm wondering if he has a duplicate main under Heroes Beginning, because he could edge it and then unfinished it, and then but he doesn't have the resources. He would have had to leave up 2 resources for the unfinished and the Heroes and Legends.
So he's kept Heroes and Legends open in case he's got another Yoda in hand, but
he's just going to take the Force.
He's just going to take the Force. Yeah, doesn't have May the Force be with you, so he can't afford to be aggressive and commit. He's got to pick one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, with all the mains he has in his hand, he might not want to waste that anyway. And looking at a board where Darkside's only going to have 3 resources this turn, it's not going to be the end of the world if he has to slow play a turn here. But
again, no resources for John. Well, he chose to play Owen, so it's going to be a slow game by the looks of things.
And now, Lightside doesn't have the first action window. The dark side will always have a reaction window, right? So you can't play Owen and immediately sacrifice him.
Correct, yeah. There's an action window for each player, so...
That's unfortunate.
Turn 1 Vader versus turn 1 Yoda. I would have loved to have seen that fight in the movie. Never happened. Never happened.
Yeah. Ooh, and a Vader's lightsaber.
Vader's getting ready for the fight.
I'm pretty sure JP has a seeds in hand, so he's probably not too afraid of that Vader right now.
No. Even if Vader comes in, you just don't block, I don't think, do you?
What is that Vader's lightsaber?
Yes,
that he just played?
I think it is.
Well, then you have to.
Oh, yeah, true. Unless so if you've got the seeds, yeah, you do.
Even if you don't have the seeds, you got to block. Yoda just dies.
And a Nogri, so that's going to help if and when some officers hit the board.
Specifically Thrawn. I'm assuming that's the only officer in this deck.
Does Dark Trooper, does that have Mock?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bit of extra blast.
And it has the Force resource, so that might be Heat of Battle. Yeah.
So again, just passing the turn, conceding the Force, can't take it back off Yoda. So JP doing a damage to the Executor arrives there. Ooh, Obi-Wan.
Got Obi. He just picked up a lightsaber deflection, which could be pretty important.
And a Core Luke. And yeah, that does look like a Seeds, so he's pretty safe from any Vader play here we might see. Now, I remember on the day, Callum was very aggressive with his Vaders. Once he got thrown out on the board, he just swung with Vader every time.
Oh, we unfinished business in an Owen? That's awesome.
To get
Is he
choked.
gonna force choke it
He's gonna
again?
get
Oh,
choked again.
man.
I mean, so that's keeping JP, John Paul, on the left pretty light on the resources, but it's eating through Callum's force chokes. He's not going to have any damage to deal with these mains if it keeps on going at this rate.
Now, that doesn't count as the limited play, right? Because he didn't play a limited card.
Correct. Brought it back from dead.
But he just doesn't have anything.
Yeah, you could play a training grounds and then unfinished business in. Owen. The trick there is remembering that unfinished business is only till the end of the phase. So don't unfinish business or Luke in your deploy because he'll just go back to the graveyard.
That is not the way to do it.
Looks like he brings out Luke, paying for him the old-fashioned way, and swinging in at Executor.
Quick edge battle here. We got a Seeds.
Seeds, and Callum's got a supporting fire, choosing not to trigger it, so he can't beat John's 4 dots.
Just kill the bodyguard right now, right?
Looks like he's going for damage on Vader.
I mean, Vader will take a lot to get down, so it's not bad. But I feel like when Thrawn comes out, if that Nagri's still on the board,
Might be painful.
I'd rather have him dead.
Yeah. But it's catch-22. You either kill the Nagri that's not protecting anything right now, or put some damage on Vader and before a protector does come out.
And there's 2 Thrawns in his hand. So now it looks like he missed the refresh on Vader, but that's forced. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. For double tapping Executor, so he's keeping a resource open for something.
What is he? Is that a chain of command in his hand, maybe?
It's got to be one. Well, it can't be a Sith event because he's leaving open Imperial resources. It's got to be chain of command, I'm feeling.
I think I see a chain, yeah.
And this is what we're talking about. Vader can just go ham now with Thrawn behind him to tactics down whoever defends.
Yup, especially with that Seeds gone now, he's much more vulnerable.
Ooh.
Still has 3 cards under Heroes Beginning, though.
Yep. He's not losing any edge battles soon.
Oh, and he just looked at them, so what do we got?
Is
that a Wolfman, a Kyle, and
Wolfman, Kyle, and a Moisty Vap, I think.
Okay. So 6 icons under there? It's not bad.
Looks like Callum's swinging with Thrawn, actually.
Yeah, this is pretty aggressive. I would expect the dark side to sit back a little bit here, take the Force, now that they have the ability to.
Callum
double tap in Luke right now could be fine, but like he has Heroes and Legends, so if he picks up another Luke, he's still gonna walk all over you.
I think Callum,
although if that is a chain of command in his hand, he could very well place 4 focus tokens right now, which could be pretty sweet.
Yep. He's pretty safe in doing it as well because he can use Thrawn's reaction first and then unfocus and then use his tactics. So even if the edge battle goes south, Callum's not in a bad position here. I wonder if that's the play, lock the board down with Thrawn and then swing and take someone out with Vader.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't have survivors in play, so Vader is going to one-shot either of those units. But then you're going to have just the Nagri as defense.
Yep. I guess if you triple tactics Luke down, put just the 1 on Yoda and then nuke Yoda with Vader, Luke's not coming back. Could be the play.
I mean, you could also put 1 tactics on each, then go kill one of the 2 with Vader, and then save the chain of command for defense.
True.
That could be a better play.
JP still deciding who's blocking.
Do we know which objective he's attacking?
I think he's going at the middle.
Okay.
Either that or Heroes and Legends. I'd be tempted. If it was me, I'd try and put some damage on Heroes and Legends, but didn't quite catch it.
I mean, before all those cards just got used, Heroes Beginning. I like to pressure Heroes Beginning when it has cards, just to force them into using it.
Yeah.
Um,
Uses the one chain of command in the edge, so it must have another.
May have another.
So uses Thrawn's ability, which is an action to just focus out someone in the engagement.
I really wonder if he has a second. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
okay,
he
there
does.
it is. I was going to say that makes a lot less sense if he doesn't.
Is that in the engagement, though? Or is he staying back for the defense? It is in the engagement. So he's going to... You've got to put both on Yoda if you're doing it at all.
Well, I think you double tap one of them, and then you attack with Vader to kill the other one.
Yep.
But I think he's going to...
Ooh, just passes.
That's really interesting.
So just leaves Yoda. So Luke's tapped out for now. And JP's only got 3 resources this turn, but it leaves Yoda alive.
And he's winning the Force 5-4 right now. He can just play something, take the Force, and get that Wolfman back. And it's not a bad setup turn.
Yep.
Even if Vader had attacked into him, though, he's sitting there with the lightsaber deflection in hand. Not that he knows that, but
nudge dots it down. That's a perfect unit to help hold that Force.
Yes, it is.
And to bait out another choke.
Yeah, getting him to spend 2 chokes on Owens is it's a pretty good trade for the light side. Not having those chokes for your mains, especially when you don't flop the survivors. That's
yeah, no survivors, no guardians. You want to keep that damage off your mains as much as possible.
Well, he might be playing Guardians, right? Because that's where the lightsaber deflection is probably from.
True.
Because he shouldn't be running Master's Domain. I think the restriction was already in place at this point.
For sure.
Yeah,
he definitely wasn't running both Yodas. It's like a lightsaber, Jedi lightsaber there. Keeping Obi-Wan in his hand for quite a few turns here.
Well, he doesn't have the resources to play him right now,
No.
so...
And he is a good 4 pips in an edge battle if he needs to win it. Yeah. Called it, Tom. Just building this board.
I think that's what he had to do. I mean, he didn't have any more playable units. He's sitting there with a lightning, a deflection, and 2 fake cards, so... Unfortunately, I think Luke's about to get Force Lightning.
Yeah. That'll be all his resources this turn, if that is the play. But Vader would get rid of the nudge as well. So, pretty good value. Callum rocking the Team Covenant, both of them rocking Team Covenant tokens actually, and Callum's got the last year's festive Christmas 3 damage token up there on Executor.
Oh, yeah.
Very seasonal.
I did not notice that. I almost picked those up last year. Those seasonal ones were pretty nice. I like how the 2 playmats, the lightsaber,
merge,
combines perfectly into one lightsaber.
Holocron. Oh, ooh, baby.
That's
it's the first resource either of them have managed to get on the board and keep it there.
That's true. That's true.
So, I think that might be a free Force Lightning.
It doesn't look like he has a lot of other playable stuff, though. Like, he has an ISB. Yeah, he's going to play it. He's going to end up wasting his Holocron for the Lightning just to get an ISB on the board. Okay. Now it's worth it.
Yeah, sack that, play the Lightning. Kills Luke. Looks like he's reacting with Vader on the nudge.
You called it.
Ping! Deflect back, trying for Thrawn, but protects it on the Nogri.
See now, don't you just put it on the advisor there? Like, you know he's going to protect it, so just get rid of that advisor.
Yeah, the 1 health. There's no option. He's not seen any Royal Guards out, so he can't protect it. Depends if you know you want to be putting work on Thrawn. Again, it comes back down to your turn 1 decision of using Luke to kill the guard.
Yeah. Yep.
Small decision at the time, could have made a big impact.
So what do we have here? Vader and the advisor attacking. Yoda and Wolfman defending.
And Thrawn using his ability to lock out Yoda. And Vader just nukes Yoda and puts a bit of damage on Hero's beginning.
Yeah. Maybe saving the lightsaber deflection for your main is more important than saving that nudge in that position.
Yeah, Vader taps out. So removing that Yoda is a pretty big deal for Callum. It means that's 5 pips that JP doesn't have on the Force anymore, so Callum can suddenly contest that fight. Another Wolfman.
We finally got a resource.
Now, do you play Obi here? I think you got to play Obi here.
If you play Obi, he has 3 on the Force right now, so we could play Obi, take the Force. He doesn't really want to pick up that support and fire, I would think. But Yoda's right under that support and fire, so if there's any way he could take the Force, pick up the support and fire, then keep the Force and get his Yoda back next turn, that would be pretty ideal.
The other option, you could swing in with the Wolfman, pitch the other Wolfman in the fight. Trigger both.
Yes.
Get the Wolfman
Yeah,
back
with
in.
what he has open, that would not be horrible either. He just can't put anything else in if he wants to dig that Yoda back out without Obi.
Good player there, checking his discard. That's a sign of good tip for some of you newer players out there. If you're not checking your discard and your opponent's discard pretty regularly, do it.
Information is very important.
Yep. You're allowed to check your discard piles at any time, people. So if you're wondering if the opponent might have a twist in their hand or heated battle or something that might ruin your day, go have a dig. Looks like he is going with the Wolfman, and I can't think the only reason you're doing this is to put the other Wolfman in edge so that you can bring him back. Ooh. 3 and a supporting 4 with edge 1. So John wins it.
So that kills his chances of digging the Yoda out, but that's not that's probably still better for him in the long run to get another Wolfman in play, control the Force, blow up that objective. I think JP really wants May the Force to be in play right now. Swinging with Obi just looks so good right now.
Objective flops do matter. But no, just playing the long game. We've seen this from the very start with not many resources. Get Obi out, commit to the Force. Wolfman comes back.
Those Wolfmen, they are good.
They just don't die.
I think he just picked up a Sith library now, so he's got resources on both sides.
Starting to ramp up, but the Dow's on 5, I think, so it's halfway through this game.
Yeah, which means somebody's going to end up drawing a bunch of resources in one of these turns, and it's going to be unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
They're not gonna...
Yeah. Vader, both with 1 life left, and Vader's not seen any protectors yet. So.
Yeah, he just played another Nagri though, so Thrawn's probably okay for a little while. Vader though, definitely close to death.
Swinging in with Vader. Get some mileage out of him whilst he is still alive.
And he knows JP has a
supporting fire.
A supporting fire.
But again, Thrawn at his back, Vader can.
And he just defended with both guys, which he had to do. Now, even if he loses this edge,
twists the supporting. Oof.
If he loses this edge, Obi dies, but at least he kills Vader in response. So that's good.
Yeah. Looks like JP wins that fight with the.
He played a support in fire, but didn't trigger it.
Yeah, it looks like JP had 2 dots, 3 with the Wolfman's Edge, and I don't know if Callum.
Yeah, he would have needed a 3 pip card.
Looks like Vader's going to bite it here. Yeah, Wolfman takes him out.
See, now, he had the opportunity to trigger Thrawn before a strike, right? Why not strike with Obi first to tactics down Thrawn in case he decides to do it, like, mid-strike? Like... That was a really good turn for the light side, though.
Yeah, Vader off the board, Thrawn not available.
And Darkseid doesn't even have the resources to take the Force now against the Nudge, so...
Yeah, if this game is going to swing, it's going to swing now, I think. Just the Nogri on defense.
So Darkseid gets an objective. Dial clicks up to 6.
Yeah. Obi wins the Force struggle and gets a card back for JP. You might not always want to keep it, but if it's got...
Yeah, it was Force cleansing. I'm not sure I would have taken that.
I think it's got 2 pips.
Did you trigger that? Do you trigger the heroes begin in mid-game?
Depends what I've seen. In this game, you've already seen a Luke, a Yoda, and an Obi, but you know there's plenty of mains in there, Kyles, that you've not seen yet.
He's seen 1 Kyle under the first heroes begin.
I probably would. I think you have to.
Trigger it. I think it's
JP deciding not to, but splitting out his draw into 2 piles of 3s to see what he would have got.
So that looked like 2 Trust Your Feelings and a Nudge.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded that under that objective.
I think you have to, really. That's it's the advantage that objective gives you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other good things that come in that pod, but like, it's like you're just blanking it yourself for not wanting to risk the. And he has enough of a board right now that I think there you go. Some Yoda Yusuk Yoda.
So the dial should click up.
So the dial should go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think you do it. I think you have to do it every time.
60% of the time, Tom triggers it every time. But Yoda on the board now. Yoda, Obi, and a couple of Wolfmen. This is getting out of control now. That's a lot of tactics that Callum's going to have to just eat. There's no really well he can deal with them this turn.
He does have double Trust Your Feelings with 3 resources left, so I would assume at least one of those gets put on Yoda.
JP doing some quick maths. Boom. It's like you play this game, Tom. Trust Your Feelings on Yoda, so that allows him to double strike.
I've played it once or twice. See, now, how do you feel about keeping the Nudge back? Because I do agree with this decision. There's a lot of times that I will just not play the Nudge to have the fate cards.
Yeah, I think for the 2 pips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's
Yeah, I meant edge cards, not fate cards, yeah.
Yeah, there comes a point in the game where you won't. Even if you could play out your whole hand, you do want to keep 2 or 3 back for the edge. So the nudge, it's not going to massively impact the board. Callum's not in danger of closing it out next turn with a Sith deck. So yeah, keep it back for the edge.
I mean, the dial's at 7, so it's going to click to 8. He still would need to destroy 2 objectives to win the game.
Yeah.
If he played a nudge, it's still 2 objectives, so it's not like it changes his win condition at all.
Yeah. Looks like he's swinging with Yoda and the Wolfmen, so both Wolfmen just really making sure that he's going to win this edge battle. Looks like Callum's not blocking.
He did not defend. He blew up the objective, triggered Trust Your Feelings, and put 2 tactics on Thrawn. So Thrawn's going to take a nap for the next turn.
Keeping Obi back on the Force with his nudge and just triggering. Obi-Wan's a great kind of board control presence. He's got 2 tactics, 4 icons, and elite. And that reaction to just keep digging cards back out of your discard is great.
So he just got a Yoda You Seek Yoda back from the discard pile with the reaction. And I feel like that's one of those cards that you just don't take. Like, I don't want it clogging up my hand. Although I guess if he has nothing else bad in his hand, he can... I don't think Darkseid's going to attack into him. He really doesn't have the board to do that, right? With Thrawn down and...
No, I mean, even if you don't get attacked into and pitch it in an edge, you can just pitch it at your draw phase. Ooh, a couple more security teams. So not seeing the big characters here. No Palpatines, no second Vader.
Well, we saw a Force Lightning, so he's definitely playing Palpatine.
Yeah, no Protectors either, which would have been a good...
I always question that now, because I did play against somebody at Worlds that was playing mono Sith without Palpatine. It was questionable.
Did you sweep it? Did you sweep that person?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did.
JP got Heroes and Legends open as well, so just threatening that.
The problem is that his 2 mains on the board are Obi and Yoda. The other Yoda's dead.
Yeah.
And that Obi is probably a one of. I haven't seen anything from BTS Obi or Core Obi, so he's probably not going to be triggering that Heroes and Legends.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to draw into the Yoda instead of the Yoda You Seek Yoda, so he could unfinish business Heroes and Legends.
True.
The dream is there. He just.
Callum filling his board out with 2 cost guys. A couple of chokes in hand.
And an aggression, so you choke out the nudge, right? Yep, yeah. There you go. And then you aggression. He's just going to lose a Wolfman and potentially get it back next turn.
Yep.
Dial goes to 9?
8 or 9?
I think it was at 7. It clicked up to 8 for the turn, and the nudge died, which put it at 9. I can't really read it. It honestly looks like a 7, but pretty sure it's not that.
He is aggressioning. Yeah, Wolfman.
Yeah, you have to just lose a Wolfman. They're just going to come right back.
Yeah, Kawati's the obvious choice there. You don't want to lose the tactics icon. And you definitely don't want to lose the protector for Thrawn. So, yeah, Kawati goes.
He still can't take the Force here.
But at least John's not winning it by 3, so that Wolfman's not back this turn.
Yep.
John could have triggered to bring it back to hand, but probably going to dig for some bigger units here.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think you want to bring that back to hand.
It's got a damage on Fall of the Jedi already, and he's got 2 objectives down. So John's just looking to close this game out with 1 more objective.
The 3PO, is that a Luke? Or
I can't quite tell from the angle. Looks like it could be a speeder. Can't tell.
It does look like it has 2 icons. I had two force pips.
So there's 3PO. It's going to cancel out. I mean,
love that promo art.
Now John has got enough damage on the board here to just win right now if he can take out Fall of the Jedi. But again, I don't know if he's...
He has another Trust His Feelings in hand. Is that a Seeds? Seeds and an Echoes? Love that combination.
Do you attack here as JP? Or do you sit back?
Oh, yeah. Especially with the hand he has, I think right now he's just deciding if he needs anything else or if he can just win the game with what's on the table.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looks like he's going to choke Yoda.
I thought it was the Wolfman. I think he's putting the Wolfman into a position where it's only going to have one health, so any of those units can potentially kill it.
Yeah. Well, he's got the Nogri with 2 guns. That's why I'm pretty sure it's Yoda he's targeting. Either way, John's got the option to try and cancel with 3PO. If he thinks the damage will matter that much. I mean, 3PO is not going to do much else.
I mean, what else could he have in hand right now? Like, he can't aggression on his turn.
Can't afford a lightning.
Yep. He doesn't hold the force, so he can't, like, rage or anything. Not that we've seen any Mara cards.
I think I'd protect the damage, just make sure. I mean, it could matter. I think I'd 3PO here. It's late in the day. Most of the other events have been and gone. If you're trying to close the game out here, John.
I mean,
John looking for a heat, seeing if it might matter. We know Vader's pod comes with a heat of battle.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen any heats.
I think if you're trying to close the game out here as John, I think you want to make sure that you take as little damage as possible before this engagement. So I'd 3PO here.
Has John already passed to his conflict phase? I have to believe he did. Yeah, so he cancels it.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, they're in the engagement, so... Callum's all in with 2. John's got a handful of cards and edge 1 on his Wolfman. Echo supporting fire, and that's game.
Okay, yeah.
So John closes it out. Game 1, coming from the lower bracket, doing it the hard way. So Callum only needs to... Well, it's the last game of the match now, so John forces a game 2, and everything's on the line.
That was a good game. Jedi doing Jedi things.
Yeah, both players will switch decks, so Callum will switch over to his light side deck and try and repay the favour to John. And we'll switch over and do the same and get some commentary on the go. But thanks for watching, and thanks for Tom for joining.
Thanks for having me.